She's labeled as scattered, emotional, or just not trying hard enough. But what if I told you that 60% of women with ADHD go completely undiagnosed until their 30s or 40s? The reason will shock you, and it starts with something that happened decades ago that's still destroying women's lives today. I'm going to show you exactly why the medical system is failing women with ADHD and what you can do about it right now. Here's what most people don't know about ADHD diagnosis. When researchers first developed the diagnostic criteria for ADHD in the 1970s, they studied exclusively hyperactive boys in classrooms. Not girls, not adults, just disruptive boys who couldn't sit still. This created a massive blind spot that we're still dealing with today. The entire foundation of ADHD diagnosis is built on male presentation, which means if you don't fit that mold, you're invisible to the system. But here's where it gets really disturbing. Girls with ADHD don't bounce off walls like boys do. Instead, they daydream, they're spacey, they struggle internally with racing thoughts and overwhelming emotions. Teachers don't complain about these girls because they're not disrupting class. Parents don't seek help because she's just a little dreamy or sensitive. Society tells us that's just how girls are supposed to be, quiet and compliant. The biological reality makes this even worse. During puberty, when ADHD symptoms typically intensify due to hormonal changes, guess what happens to teenage girls? Their emotional struggles get dismissed as typical teenage drama or blamed on their period. The exact time when ADHD symptoms become most obvious is the exact time when society teaches us to ignore women's experiences as hormonal nonsense. It's a perfect storm of medical negligence and societal bias. Let me give you a statistic that will make your blood boil. Boys are diagnosed with ADHD at a rate of 3 to 1 compared to girls. But in adults, the diagnosis rate is equal between men and women. This means there are millions of women walking around right now with undiagnosed ADHD who have spent their entire lives thinking they're failures, lazy, or broken. They've internalized decades of shame because nobody recognized their neurological differences. The consequences of this diagnostic failure are devastating. Women with undiagnosed ADHD have higher rates of anxiety and depression. They struggle with relationships. They face workplace discrimination. And they often develop eating disorders as a way to cope with feeling out of control. They become masters at masking their symptoms, which makes diagnosis even harder. By the time they seek help, they're often in crisis, burned out from years of trying to function in a world that wasn't designed for their brains. Here's the part that makes me angry as a mental health professional. Even when women finally do get diagnosed, the standard treatment protocols were designed for men. Medication dosing, therapy approaches, coping strategies, everything is based on male research. Women's hormonal fluctuations throughout their menstrual cycle affect how ADHD medications work, but most doctors don't even know this. Women need different support systems, different accommodations, and different treatment approaches, but they're getting cookie-cutter solutions that weren't made for them. The signs that doctors miss in women are right there if you know what to look for. She's the perfectionist who burns out regularly. She's incredibly creative but can't finish projects. She has intense emotional reactions that seem disproportionate. She's always running late despite trying her best to be organized. She hyper-focuses on things she's interested in but can't attend to boring tasks. She feels like she's constantly swimming upstream while everyone else seems to have life figured out. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not crazy and you're not lazy. The system has failed you, not the other way around. Women with ADHD are some of the most intelligent, creative, and resilient people I know, but they've been gaslighted by a medical establishment that doesn't understand their experiences. The first step to getting proper help is recognizing that your struggles are valid and neurological, not character flaws. So here's what you need to do right now. If you recognize yourself in this video, please comment below and share your experience because your story matters and will help other women feel less alone. Hit the like button if this video opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered before, and subscribe because I'm going to keep making content that exposes these blind spots in mental health care. Women with ADHD deserve better, and together we're going to make sure they get it. The conversation starts here, and it starts with you.